Mercury hidden truths you must know. This planet has many hidden truths. Let's reveal the facts about Mercury and smash that subscribe button. First, Mercury is the closest planet to the Sun, orbiting just 58 million kilometers away, much nearer than Earth. It receives 7 times more solar radiation than we do, making its days blindingly bright and dangerously hot. The Sun looms over twice as large in Mercury's sky, dominating every aspect of its existence. Mercury's orbit is highly elliptical, swinging from 46 to nearly 70 million kilometers from the Sun. This means sunlight intensity can more than double between its closest and farthest points. To avoid being pulled into the Sun, Mercury races around at 47 kilometers per second, the fastest planet in the solar system. Earth, by comparison, moves at a much slower pace. Mercury's location and speed aren't just trivia, they define its wild, extreme nature. Imagine a world where the Sun's power is relentless, and the planet must sprint to survive. That's Mercury, a cosmic speedster, forged by fire and gravity. Let's see what that means for life on its surface. Second, Mercury has no real atmosphere, just a thin exosphere of scattered atoms blasted off its surface. There's no air to breathe, no weather, no clouds, and no protection from space. The exosphere is so thin, it's a near-perfect vacuum. Without an atmosphere, heat isn't distributed. One side bakes, the other freezes. The sky is always black, even at noon, with stars visible in broad daylight. No air means no shield from meteoroids or solar radiation. Every impactor hits full force. Mercury's surface is a raw, untouched record of cosmic history. No wind, no rain, just craters and scars, preserved for billions of years. It's a world exposed, vulnerable, and utterly alien. Let's see how time itself works on this strange planet. Third, Mercury. A year is just 88 Earth days. Blink and you've orbited the Sun. But a single day, sunrise to sunrise, lasts 176 Earth days. 2 Mercurian years. This happens because Mercury spins slowly and orbits quickly, locked in a 3-2 resonance with the Sun. The result? Daylight and darkness each stretch for months. At certain times, the Sun even appears to pause and move backward in the sky. Time on Mercury is warped. Days outlast years, and the Sun's path is bizarre. Imagine living through months of searing daylight, then months of freezing night. Mercury's clock is unlike any other in the solar system. Its strange rhythm shapes everything about the planet. Now, let's talk about the wild extremes this creates. Fourth, Mercury temperature swings are the most extreme of any planet. Daytime temperatures soar to 430 degrees, 800 degrees, hot enough to melt lead. At night, with no atmosphere to hold heat, it plunges to 180 degrees, 290 degrees. That's a swing of over 600 degrees in a single day-night cycle. Rocks expand and contract, shattering over time, a process called thermal weathering. The surface is battered not just by impacts, but by its own violent temperature changes. No other planet experiences such brutal thermal extremes. Mercury is a world of fire and ice side by side, but despite its size, it hides a massive secret within. Mercury is the smallest planet in our solar system, just 4,180 kilometers across, barely bigger than our moon. It's dwarfed by Venus, Mars, and even some moons like Ganymede and Titan. Despite its small size, Mercury has a lot of unique features. Mercury is incredibly dense, second only to Earth. This high density hints at a huge metallic core beneath its surface. Scientists believe that Mercury's core makes up about 85% of the planet's radius, which is significantly larger than any other planet in the solar system. Its gravity is just 38% of Earth's, so you'd feel much lighter there. Imagine being able to jump nearly 3 times higher than you can on Earth. The low gravity also means it can't hold on to an atmosphere. Mercury has a very thin exosphere made up of atoms blasted off its surface by the solar wind. Mercury's size, density, and composition are all clues to its wild history. It's believed that Mercury may have once been much larger, but a massive collision stripped away much of its outer layers. It may be small, but it's packed with surprises. Mercury's surface is covered with craters from impacts that have shaped its history. Let's dig into its iron heart. Mercury's core is rich in iron, which contributes to its magnetic field, albeit a weak one compared to Earth's. Mercury's orbit is another fascinating aspect. It has the most eccentric orbit of all the planets, taking it as close as 46 million kilometers and as far as 70 million kilometers from the Sun. This proximity to the Sun means Mercury experiences extreme temperature variations, from scorching 430 degrees Celsius during the day to freezing 180 degrees Celsius at night. Interestingly, Mercury has a very slow rotation, taking about 59 Earth days to complete one rotation, but it only takes 88 Earth days to orbit the Sun. This means that a single day on Mercury, from one sunrise to the next, lasts about 176 Earth days. The Messenger spacecraft has provided us with invaluable data about Mercury, revealing its geological history and surface composition. Despite its small size, Mercury has a magnetic field, though it's only about 1% as strong as Earth's. This magnetic field interacts with the solar wind, creating a magnetosphere around the planet. One of the most surprising discoveries is the presence of water ice in permanently shadowed craters at Mercury's poles, where temperatures are cold enough to keep the ice stable. Mercury may be the smallest planet, but it's a world full of mysteries and extremes, offering us a glimpse into the early solar system. Sixth, Mercury's core is massive, about 85% of its radius, mostly iron and nickel. Theories suggest a giant impact or intense solar heat stripped away its outer layers, leaving a dense core. This makes Mercury a cosmic cannonball, mostly metal, thinly wrapped in rock. Despite its size, Mercury has a magnetic field, about 1% as strong as Earth's. This means part of its core is still molten and active. The magnetic field was a shock to scientists, who thought Mercury should have cooled long ago. Its iron heart challenges our ideas about how planets evolve. Even the smallest worlds can keep their cores alive for billions of years. But Mercury's extremes don't end there. Seventh, Mercury, the scorched planet, has water ice at its poles. Deep craters near the poles are permanently shadowed, never seeing sunlight. Temperatures there stay below 170 degrees Celsius, cold enough for ice to survive for eons. Radar and spacecraft data confirm these icy deposits. The ice likely arrived via comets and asteroids, then became trapped in the cold, dark craters. Mercury's near-zero tilt keeps these shadows frozen year-round. It's a world where fire and ice coexist, thanks to cosmic geometry. Even in the sun's backyard, the universe finds ways to surprise us. Now, let's look at the scars that tell Mercury's story. Eighth, Mercury's surface is a battered record of billions of years of impacts. With no atmosphere or geological activity, every crater remains. Nothing erases the scars. The planet's crust is a single, solid plate. No tectonics, no erosion, no renewal. The Caloris Basin stands out, a colossal impact crater, 1,550 kilometers wide. The impact that formed it sent shockwaves through the entire planet, creating weird terrain on the opposite side. By studying Mercury's craters, scientists unlock the history of the inner solar system. Each scar is a chapter in a cosmic storybook. Mercury is a living fossil, preserving the solar system's violent youth. But visiting this world is no easy feat. Ninth, Mercury is tough to reach. Its closeness to the Sun makes missions complex and fuel-hungry. Only 2 spacecraft have visited Mariner 10 in the 1970s, and Messenger, which orbited Mercury from 2011 to 2015. Mariner 10 gave us our first close-up images and discovered Mercury's magnetic field. Messenger mapped the entire planet, studied its surface, and confirmed polar ice. These missions revealed Mercury's secrets, but many mysteries remain. Each visit is a triumph of engineering and curiosity. Mercury challenges us to push the limits of exploration. Our understanding comes from just a handful of daring missions. But you don't need a spacecraft to see Mercury for yourself. 10th, Mercury is visible to the naked eye, but it's tricky to spot. It never strays far from the sun, appearing only in twilight, just after sunset or before sunrise. Look low on the horizon during its greatest elongation, when it's farthest from the sun in our sky. You'll see a bright, steady point of light, Mercury, the swift planet. Ancient astronomers called it the morning or evening star. Catching a glimpse connects you to a world of extremes, racing around the sun in just 88 days. Use a stargazing app to help you find it. When you spot Mercury, remember, you're seeing a world of fire, ice, and iron. It's a rare, rewarding sight for any skywatcher. Now, let's reflect on what Mercury teaches us. Recap the truth of Mercury, a planet of extremes, tiny, dense, with a giant iron core and ice in eternal shadow. Its wild days, frozen nights, and battered surface reveal the drama of our solar system's history. Studying Mercury helps us appreciate the delicate balance that makes Earth habitable. Even the smallest worlds have big stories to tell. What surprised you most about Mercury? Share your thoughts below. What are your thoughts about Mercury?